Well, former President Trump now says he is the target of a January 6th grand jury investigation. Trump writing a statement, quote, deranged Jack Smith sent a letter giving me a very 4 short days to report to the grand jury, which almost always means an arrest and an indictment. Fox's Sean Hannity asked Trump about this last night in a town hall. Watch.
I got the letter on Sunday night. Think of it. I don't think they've ever sent a letter on Sunday night. And they're in a rush because they want to interfere. It's never been done like this in the history of our country. The DOJ has become a weapon for the Democrats, an absolute weapon.
Joining me right now is former U.S. Attorney and Prosecutor Guy Lewis. Guy, great to have you this morning. Thanks very much. Pretty astounding news. Your thoughts?
Amazing, really amazing. The former president of the United States getting a target letter. Now, I've been on both sides of this. I've sent them out as a prosecutor, and when I've had some high-powered clients, I've gotten them as a defense lawyer. It's basically a letter saying you're a target of the grand jury investigation, which means I have the evidence to indict you right now, and it's most likely an invitation in 4 days to testify before the grand jury that's hearing the evidence. So clearly, Jack Smith, the special counsel, and the president, his lawyers, for the next few days are going to be in a game of legal chicken.
So do they have a case? What do you think? How does this play out?
So I think that the grand jury, which is operating out of Washington, which has been the January 6th series of cases that we've seen over and over, have been hearing evidence. From what we can piece together, it's clear that they put witnesses in, they put documents in, and I think you're going to see, frankly, the president charged. He's not going to testify in the grand jury. He's not going to take that bait. Frankly, if I were his lawyer, I'd say get nowhere near the grand jury because you've got no rights, you've got no lawyer in the grand jury, there's no judge present. It's completely one-sided, Maria. So I wouldn't let my client anywhere near it if I was representing the ex-president of the United States. But I do think you're going to see the president indicted in the next, if not the next week, the next 2 weeks.
And where is this case heard? I mean, one thing around the indictment regarding the classified documents was that it's in Florida, and many people felt that, you know, you were going to be hard-pressed to find 12 jurors agree that he did something wrong, given the National Records Act enabling him or allowing him to take whatever he wanted out as commander-in-chief. But this is different. Is the jury in Washington?
Boy, that's a great point, Maria. Yes, the document case here in my home district, I frankly didn't worry too much about that when I put on my hat as the president's lawyer. But I'm telling you, it's a different story in Washington, D.C. We're going to get a different grand jury. We're going to get a different jury. They've indicted. I mean, let's think about this for a second, Maria. They've indicted out of that grand jury more than 1,000 defendants. It's the largest case in DOJ history ever. And the results, even worse, if I'm the president's lawyer, they've gotten almost across the board either pleas or convictions as a result of trials. I think one guy who went to trial was acquitted. Almost the vast majority of the rest were convicted in some way, shape, or form. So, look, as the president's lawyer, that'd be the thing I'd think about going to bed and the first thing I'd think about waking up.
Well, I mean, could the lawyers make a case that this is total election interference? I mean, you've got the January Iowa caucuses happening coming up, and then you've got a trial for the classified documents expected in December. How do you do a trial in December when the January caucuses are happening a month later? They made this case for the classified documents case. Can they make that again, that you have to postpone anything until after the election?
Boy, oh boy, Maria. So another great question. This is, look, I hate to use the vernacular, but it's a legal mess, and the government's created it. The government has created this situation.
Yeah.
They could have waited and allowed this thing to go through carefully, thoughtfully, but it's hard not to sit back and watch and say, boy, this is being jammed through on a timetable that doesn't make sense.
Right.
It's going forward, and you're going to get all kind of constitutional objections, timing objections, and if he wins the nomination, you know, we're in uncharted territory.
Unbelievable. Guy, thanks very much. We'll keep following that. Guy Lewis joining us this morning.